Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Facebook Live for members of the Creating Inspired Impact Facebook group. So, as promised, my intention this evening is to do a book review on this book. It's called Canny Bites. It's by our very own Safaraz Ali. So, a little bit of background, and then let's get into the review. You know, as a business owner, as a business person, I'm all too familiar with the need to invest your time and invest your money wisely. And as a coach and mentor, I'm frequently asked if I can recommend a good book. Well, good is a very subjective word. So I generally say, well, I'm going to recommend a book that I like. So what I'm going to do this evening is I'm going to do a review, and I'm going to recommend a book that I like. It's a book called Canny Bites. It's by Safaraz Ali, as I've already said. And I'd like to take you on a little journey through that book. You see, when I buy a book, I don't just read it, I use it. I tend to use a book by referring to it, back to it from time to time. I never read a book cover to cover. I tend to dip in and out of books. So I've always got 4, 5, 6 books on the go. And I tend to make lots of notes and stick lots of post-it notes in the book, as you can see. So let me tell you a little bit about this book. Let's start with the basics. I'm a highly visual person, and I have to tell you that this book is written for highly visual people. It's a nice, pleasant book, plenty of illustration, good bite-sized points. As it says, it's Canny Bites, and that's exactly what it gives you. Saf has, in my mind, covered all of the bases here in terms of what is useful to a business person. He goes through from a range of topics. He covers each one in enough detail to make it interesting, enough detail to give you things that you can go away and do, things that you can learn from and do right away without going into heavy kind of academic meat. So what you've got here are literally really good tips upon which you can succeed. The very first chapter, of course, is about networking, and he gives some great advice in there about networking. I'll say right away that I don't necessarily agree with everything that Saf says in the book, but that's what good business is about. That's what good connections are about. I have certain points of view, he has certain points of view, and I can understand and respect his because, you know, there's some really good stuff in here. So looking at the networking, he covers everything from how to get it right, about how to present yourself. I think the expression that he uses is bravado is baloney, because too many people walk into a networking situation, a networking scenario, and what are they doing? They are, in effect, projecting themselves as the expert in the room, or projecting themselves as perfect, or projecting themselves as invincible, and they're not. None of us are. We are all human beings. We all make mistakes. We all screw up from time to time. And what Saf is saying in the book is authenticity and vulnerability will get you a long, long way. So go for it. You know, show that you're a human being, and the world will love you for it. He does a great section on the power of mastermind groups, which is really useful, because mastermind groups are a growing phenomena in this country. They have been around for quite a long time. I think it's a bandwagon that a lot of people are jumping on. And if you're going to go looking for a mastermind group, in other words, a group of like-minded individuals who come together either physically or via the wonders of the internet, if you're going to find a mastermind group to become a part of, to be connected with, then shop carefully. Make sure that you're getting the right group with the right people and the right facilitation. And he talks you through a lot of that in here. It also talks about what you'll get out of mastermind groups, different perspectives, accountability. And accountability is something that we all too often miss, because as business people, many of us started our own businesses because we wanted to be accountable to ourselves. And our biggest challenge is that we are then only accountable to ourselves. So grab that tip out of the book. There's a section on goal setting. Are you a goal setter or a goal getter? You know, there's so many people. You go on Facebook, every single day there are people posting about goal setting. There are people posting about smart goals, big goals, massive goals, huge goals, hairy goals, whatever goals. My experience as a coach and mentor is that many people talk about them, many people set them. A lot of people don't bloody do anything about achieving them because they go around talking about how big and how hairy their goals are, and they don't do anything with it. There's a great, I'll actually read a little bit to you if I may. He's talked about a story around Harvard Business School and some graduates who were asked a question around goals. And he says, while this story might not be true, there's no denying that being clear about your goals is crucial in achieving them. In 2007, Professor Gail Matthews at the Dominican University in California did produce a study that proved that having clear goals, a plan, and a mechanism for holding yourself accountable makes you more likely to achieve them. So there you go, some academic background to show that you are then applying that motivation by dedicating yourself to doing things. There's another piece here that I want to share with you. And this is around branding, because one of the things that I do with a lot of my business clients is to look at their branding. And a lot of people think that a flash logo is a brand. You know, the Nike tick is not the brand. That tick cost them a few $1,000s. The brand is what they are and what they do and how they perform. That's where the brand is. So I'd like to share this bit with you. It says your personality and your behavior. This is what makes you stand out. Your personality shapes things such as how you approach problems and how you get on with others. Being authentic to yourself and your values is crucial to a good personal brand. If you try to be someone else, others will see through it eventually. And that is 100% true. Your brand should reflect you, the inner you. The things that you do when there's no one else around will be critical to your brand. So be authentic, be yourself. Let people see you as you are. Flicking on through. In fact, I made a little note on one here, which I really like, which is, I wrote on the page, oh yes, because it's how to be a winning quitter. In fact, I think I did a post one day around the basis of winners never quit and quitters never win. Well, actually, a real winner knows when to quit, when to say enough is enough. That was a great idea. It wasn't working out, and it's time to pack up my toolkit and start something else. Winning quitters are people who quit something because they know they should. They don't quit because something is too hard or they're not willing to try, but because the time is right. Sometimes you've got to look at what you're doing and say, this is not working out. It's time to do something different. Otherwise, you end up doing what a lot of people do, and that is they throw good money and good energy after bad. So it's really full of great stuff all the way through. You've got 52 chunks that you can go out there and use. There's stuff in here around making great decisions, because the quality of your business is often going to be about the quality of your decisions. And the better the decisions you can make, the better your business is likely to be. There's a brilliant quote in here on leadership from Sir Alex Ferguson. I had to smile when I read this, because it says, you don't get the best out of people by hitting them with an iron rod. You do so by gaining their respect, getting them accustomed to triumphs, and convincing them that they're capable of improving their performance. Now, those of you who've read anything of Sir Alex Ferguson know that he had, and probably still has, a reputation as being a hard-hitting leader. I'm sure he didn't hit anyone with an iron rod. He may have kicked the odd football boot around in the dressing room, if a rumour has it correctly. But there's a highly respected leader, and people have been trying to emulate his success ever since. So there's stuff in there on the importance of respect, and that's respect that goes both ways. It's mutual, you know. You cannot expect respect from others if you don't give that respect to them. Of course, there's a section in here on coaching and mentoring. The interesting thing is that so many people don't understand the difference. And right there on the page, Saf has very succinctly explained the difference between a coach, a mentor, and a teacher. And the fact that there are times when, as a business coach, I have to be a mentor, and times as a mentor, I have to put my coaching hat on. I happen to believe that there are times when you have to do a mixture of both. There are people who disagree with that. That's fine. That's their model of the world. Great book, lots of it. There's stuff in here about how you make a good brand. So overall, what you've got here is a great book. It's 130, just over 130 pages of pearls of wisdom here. Pearls of wisdom. Now, my suggestion to you is very simple, and that's this. Invest in this book. Put it in your briefcase or put it on your desk and do what I did today. I mean, I sat on the train and read a couple of sections from the book as I was travelling into Birmingham for a meeting. Next time I'm on a train, I'll read a couple more. It sits on my desk here, and I'll pick it up and I would dip in and out of it as I feel the desire to. It is a great book. I highly recommend it. It's what I call a good book. It's a good book for business people, whether you be a one-man business or whether you're running a successful multinational business. It is well worth reading. It's an easy read. How can you get it? Okay, so you go on Amazon and you search for Canny Bites, Cannybites, Canny Bites. It's by Safaraz Ali. Safaraz Ali. It's actually in the post heading here. You can buy it in paperback for £11.99p, or you can get it for your Kindle at £4.99. If you're anything like me, what I tend to do is I get things for the Kindle and I have a flick through it, and then if I like it, I go back and I buy the paperback or the hardback. That's just me. That's the way that I roll. I hope you will invest in Saf's book. Saf, when you get to watch this, can I say congratulations? Great book. I really enjoy it. I recommend it to anybody. Love it to bits. Thank you very much for tuning in and joining me for this book review. I will be back tomorrow for our regular Facebook Live open house with Ralph. So I hope you will watch for the announcement on that. And I'll see you online tomorrow. For now, thanks very much for tuning in. See you again soon.